Am I the butthole for refusing to attend my twin brother's wedding? I, 21M, first started dating my now ex-girlfriend, female, 21, when we were both 16. However, we made the decision to break up before heading off to college when we were 18. I decided to go a few hours away while she decided to stay local. Also, note that my girlfriend was very close with my family, so this was hard on my family as well. When returning home from my first year of college, my brother surprised me with the news that he had been dating a girl for over 6 months now. Only problem, it was my ex-girlfriend. I was obviously pissed and my brother understood but made it clear he had no intention of breaking up with her. Eventually we came to the agreement that we would continue our relationship if he never mentioned her to me or made us interact. He happily agreed to these terms. However, recently my brother surprised me with the news that the two of them are now engaged, and he wants me to be his best man. I told him absolutely not. He and I had agreed from the beginning that I would not have to attend any event where my ex would be there. My whole family is calling me selfish and telling me I can suck it up for one night. But I just don't feel comfortable being the best man at my ex's wedding. Am I the butthole for refusing to go to the wedding and be his best man? Edit. For clarification, yes, we are identical twins. Not the butthole, those were your terms. He agreed to them. End of story. Because life is black and white and there is no nuance to anything ever. Original poster, who cares who was the butthole here, it's done. She is going to be your sister-in-law, you've got to get that right with you. Go have an honest conversation with your brother. A person's personal boundaries are black and white. They are also fixed in place, and in this case, they aren't absurd or crazy. When this girl became so attached to Original Poster's family that after over a year of dating Original Poster, she started dating his identical twin. That's fine for her and the brother, but it's not fine for Original Poster, and that's okay. If this is the hill he wants to die on, more power to him, as long as he knows that his relationship with his family may suffer. His family doesn't respect his boundaries, they see her as a surrogate daughter, and Original Poster sees her as an ex from a very formative time in his life that they want to force him to be around for forever, and the family doesn't get it, so it's up to each individual to do what they feel comfortable doing here. I don't think boundaries are fixed in place, nor black and white. I think boundaries grow, change, appear and disappear, and change color as we mature and gain more life experiences. They also change depending on the person and how they've changed over time also. Hard boundaries that I had at 18 were laughable to me at 30. Some boundaries I have now that I'm in my 40s hadn't even crossed my mind in my 30s. And a few people that I used to be so close with in my 30s have changed enough that I've cut them off completely. Given how very young they all were when the Original Poster and ex broke up, it seems immature not to revisit the situation and reassess the boundaries. All three of them have changed dramatically in the past 3 years as they've matured and grown in life experiences, and what seemed so life-changing at 18 probably really isn't anymore. Is the Original Poster going to always hold an eternal flame for his high school sweetheart? Never get married, nor move on, pining for the day when the ex leaves his twin and returns based only on a relationship that only lasts 2 years when they were still in high school? It feels like more of a grudge than a boundary at this point. That being said, I agree with everything else you've said. If the Original Poster still feels this strongly, of course he's welcome to hold the line. But he also needs to realize that the consequences is he's going to be separating himself from the family more and more. Of course, he can want to die on this hill, but it will be cold comfort when he's 40, married with 3 kids, and still not invited to family holidays, weddings, school events, and graduations. It's likely it has nothing to do with him not moving on from his ex, but that the fact that his brother and longtime ex-girlfriend started dating within the year of them breaking up. Honestly, it's effing disgusting what they did, and Original Poster is right for not wanting to be involved in a relationship based on such a huge betrayal to him. I think calling this a huge betrayal is a bit of an overstatement. It's a tiny bit crafty to date your sibling's ex, but since they had dated in high school, rather than as adults, this is definitely not the hill I would personally choose to die on. Original Poster and his ex broke up on good terms because he moved away for college. If the girl was more important, he could have stayed local. He left, he doesn't get to call dibs. That the brothers are identical twins doesn't mean much except that they are brothers who happen to have been born on the same day, and look alike. Twins can be as different in personality, style, and interests as any other set of siblings. Original Poster is more than welcome to make this his hill to die on, if he wishes. But as someone who has a lot more years and experience under my belt, I would not choose to cut my family off under these circumstances. Make no mistake, his brother is marrying this woman and making her officially part of the family. If this is Original Poster's line in the sand, he's going to alienate himself from the rest of his family, not just his brother and sister-in-law. I just try to picture what my life would be like if I was beholden to the people and opinions I had in my life at 18 or 19, and my brain shut down the thought before it could start. Right, but also, this is only 3 years later for them. They are all still young. Not to mention this isn't some regular sibling issue, it's his literal twin. If nothing else, I'd be suspicious about the fact that it ended on good terms, and then she instantly started dating the second version of him. Kind of weird for me, dude. I also can't imagine being a sibling who is just like, well, my twin didn't want her, so I guess I'll just start dating her. You. Gross. And since they chose to wait to tell Original Poster, I am guessing they felt they crossed a boundary themselves. It's not just a tiny bit crafty, it's really crafty. They also only broke up because Original Poster was going away to school, which, not going to lie, makes me wonder if this girl only sees Original Poster's brother as a sort of stand-in. Pretty effed up to go from one twin to the other. It is crafty to date your sibling's ex within a year of them breaking up, especially without asking them or telling them before 6 months has gone. It's beyond crafty. He's not cutting his family off, they are choosing to not respect him or his boundaries. I would definitely go low contact or no contact with my family if they repeatedly not respected me or my boundaries, and acting like I was being ridiculous. Your identical twin gets with your ex after a couple of months? It's a massive betrayal in my opinion. I don't disagree with your judgment on Original Poster being not the butthole. The proverbial bro code, girl code, etc. Don't date the ex of your close friend or family member. I understand why Original Poster is unhappy that his brother is with his ex, and I can certainly understand his reluctance over being the best man at his ex's wedding. That being said, this is also a complex issue. The fact that his ex is entering his family makes it so. Original Poster says he won't go to any event where his ex, future sister-in-law, will be attending. That's his boundary, and as long as he understands what that means. If his brother and future sister-in-law have kids, he probably won't want to be a loving uncle, or want his brother and sister-in-law to be loving to his kids if he ever settles down and has kids of his own. Birthdays, christenings, other family weddings, Original Poster will choose to bail on all of them if this is where he draws the line. Heck, and I know this isn't anything anyone wants to think about, but what about funerals? The parents have made it clear that she's welcome in their family, and I understand why. They shouldn't be forced to pick and choose between two brothers. Their love as parents is unconditional. But what if one of the parents, God forbid, passes early? If you are in Original Poster's shoes, would you really choose not to attend your own mother or father's funeral, all because you're avoiding a girl you dated back in high school? And before anyone says she shouldn't come, why shouldn't she come to family funerals when she's becoming family too? Not because you have every right to not go to your brother's wedding, but you know that you're basically sacrificing your family for the rest of your life. For a girl you dated as a teenager. You guys didn't work out, and after you broke up, she and your brother realized they were more compatible. They've been dating for over 2 years, so it's not like a fling despite you. But they are going to marry. Which means, they will be invited as a family to every family event. If they choose to have kids, they will be your nieces and nephews, and your parents' grandkids. The grandkids will definitely be invited to every event. So you need to basically decide if you're willing to say no to every family event in the future, and never meet your brother's kids, because there's a woman he was more compatible with than you were. But if it was a mutual breakup, why should Original Poster still be hung up on her? It's been 5 years, as long as she's not a bad person, and the breakup wasn't for a bad reason, I don't see why Original Poster would feel betrayed. Original Poster agreed to break up with this girl, but has no right to make her off limits to anyone else. If his brother likes this girl, then there should be no problem. I understand what you're trying to say, but I respectfully disagree. It's been 3 years at most, not 5. The brother and the ex started dating about 6 months after the original poster and the ex broke up. They broke up because they didn't want to deal with long distance because of college. It's very possible there were still feelings there. Sounds more like they started dating after at most 2 months. School is 8 months, and when he got home they'd already been together for over 6 months. Yeah, this makes such a big difference. It's one thing if 10 years pass and you run into your brother's ex in the park and hit it off, in which case it would still be common courtesy to give your sibling a heads up and make sure they're cool with it. It's entirely different to break up with your girlfriend and have her look around immediately and go, no problem, there's a literal genetic replacement right here, I'm good. And then they hide it for 6 months. And this was all less than 5 years ago. Yeah, all of this. Time creates perspective too. When you're young, a 2-year relationship in high school seems huge. I know, because I dated someone for 2 years in high school. But then you grow up and you get to a point that it barely registers who you dated in high school. Original poster may get to a point where the fact that this woman is his ex-girlfriend becomes kind of insignificant, and it's a matter of how much damage he does to his relationship with his family in the meantime. Not the butthole. I think dating your sibling's ex is a scummy thing to do anyway, so why the hell should you be uncomfortable for someone who's done that to you? I think you handled the entire situation well, better than most people would, with the agreement you both came up with. I'm actually shocked your brother thought you'd say yes. Like, that generally baffles me. Why on earth would you be the best man at your brother's and ex-girlfriend's wedding? I don't know if you're the butthole, but if you're going to spend the rest of your life religiously avoiding the person your twin is married to because you dated her in high school, that's going to make life pretty weird. Might be a good time to move forward for your sake and theirs. Yeah, there's a lot of like 15-year-olds giving advice on the sub today. Sorry, but you're the butthole. You and your ex ended it. Ended it. She ended up dating your brother, and now being engaged to him. Deals don't matter at this point. Your brother is marrying this woman, so unless you are prepared to cut off all contact with your family, then you're going to have to come to terms with it. If you loved her, you never should have ended the relationship. You have no claim on her, so grow a pair, suck it up and be in the wedding. It's generally understood, at least for heterosexual relationships outside of small rural areas, that you don't date the exes of close friends or siblings because those situations tend to lead to hurt feelings and drama. Even if they've broken up, the original poster isn't wrong for being upset his ex and his twin brother started dating. I do agree with what you're saying. Counterpoint, original poster can be upset they started dating, but we're asking if original poster is the butthole for letting that upset from a few years ago permanently affect his relationship with his twin and family going forward. I am really curious what the rest of the family thinks of the arrangement, honestly. I don't really have a vote yet, to be honest, because this is complex. He isn't the butthole. At the end of the day, it is betrayal, it's a lack of respect for boundaries. Original poster's brother decided to value a chance at his original poster's ex rather than actual family. Maybe you can make an argument if there had been like a few years gap between the events, but seriously, you go for your brother's ex of 2 years, 2 months after they break up? You don't even approach your brother like a decent human being before you make a move, but you date in secret for 6 months, then you spring it on him? You do not only want him at the wedding but to be your best man after all the crap you put him through? Where the F is the compassion and empathy for original poster? They treated him like crap. He decided to be the bigger person and maintain a relationship with his brother despite all this, and now they want him to be involved in a celebration of a relationship built on betrayal and lies? Not the butthole if it's identical twin, it's even worse, in my opinion. He should have told you before he asked her out on the first date. It only broke bro code but brother code. So sorry. I was thinking the same thing. They may be happily in love now, but I'm really curious how she just randomly decided to date your twin. Kind of sounds like she was looking for a rebound in your brother, even if it was just in the beginning. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.